Thank you so much for making out time and making sure you attend the webinar. Yes, so here we are today, and the topic is very, very dear to me, power dressing and grooming. Let's start with a wonderful question. I would love everybody to give their inputs in the chat box. What is that one thing that you first notice in a person when you meet them in the first 10 seconds, be it professionally, personally? What is it that you notice? Their smile, their clothes, their demeanor, the skills they have. It could be anything. I would just want to hear. Yeah, I'm getting the responses. Dressing, eyes, lovely, shoes, their dressing sense, appearance, confidence, smile, dress up, face, hair. Oh, great. Skills, clothes, grooming. Lovely. Keep them coming. Way of talking, yes, communication, overall appearance, how they greet you, the etiquette of greeting. Yes, lovely. So today we'll just make sure that we create an experiential environment. We'll be present in the workshop, be interactive, use the chat box, ask questions, and actively participate. Yes, next. Now, when you give this answer, it makes you think that skills or the technical competency of a person is not the only thing that you consider while you meet the person. The first thing that you register is the first impression of that person. Yes, and we all make sure that that first impression is a long lasting and the best impression. We have a lot of opportunities. Yes, we all want to be successful, but you have to have the right attitude and the right and perform at the right time. When all of this comes together, we make sure that we be successful in our corporate career. While I say that, we all feel once our technical skills are competent, we are good at what we are working at, that's done, we will climb the corporate ladder. But that's not how it works. The kind of image you create, the kind of professional presence you create when at work is extremely important. So it's very, very important that the kind of visual communication or the first impression that you're making on the person that you're meeting is extremely effective. Can you see the pictures in front of you? Now you have the above picture and there is a picture of a man below. The one who's above has a lot of pictures where someone's wearing a blazer, someone's wearing a shirt. So you can see various people from various fields. Can someone tell me how formal is the first picture of the girl in a blazer? What is the kind of impression she creates on you? Does she look professional? Does she look casual? Someone says they're professional, great. Bold, confident, lovely. Okay, professional, yes. And the one below, the guy in the blue blazer, what is the kind of impression he creates on y'all? Okay, lovely. So this states that there is a kind of image that you create when you meet someone. So you have to make sure that that image is a professional image. Before that, there is a kind of self-image that you have for yourself. Before creating the outer image, there's a kind of self-image you have to create for yourself. Yes. So the self-image has to be extremely authentic and appropriate. Only then the outer image that you create for people will be professional. This also states that clothes communicate. They give messages. They give non-verbal cues. They tell the other person, they communicate to the other person even before you start communicating. Yes. So non-verbal communication is extremely more powerful and something that goes unnoticed even when you're speaking something else. Now, can you see these two females over here? They are dressed in a lovely Indian attire. Yes, here they are trying to communicate that yes, they are professional, but at the same time, slightly more modest. It looks like they belong to probably an NGO or an Indian organization where they want to preserve their cultural values as well. So this tells us that clothes not only communicate how powerful and beautiful you look, but at the same time, it tells more about you. It tells about your values. It tells about your skills. So this is the visual communication that we will be talking about today. An outer image is formed within few seconds of people meeting us. Within 7 seconds, within the first 7 seconds of meeting the person, you create an impression of that person. So we have to make sure that the impression is extremely, extremely powerful, and it should not be incorrect. Now, with the digital media coming in, this 7 seconds is reducing to just 3 seconds. So we have to be extremely, extremely careful of what is the impression that we are creating on the other person. Before you hand out your card, when you meet the person, you communicate to the person that, am I trustworthy? Can you respect me? So only when you look competent enough, the dressing talks about your competency is when the person will trust you, follow you, take your orders, respect you. Clients will find you credible and efficient. So when you meet a person or when you meet a colleague, whenever you enter office, you meet your clients, you have to make sure that you are dressed at your extreme best. And the dressing will vary from situation to situation. We'll talk about it further in the session. When we call appearance, we always have this notion that appearance is only about grooming, but it's not restricted to grooming. When we talk about appearance, it's about clothing, grooming, body language, and etiquette. When I say clothing, you have to be dressed in formals. When we say formals, it's not only about wearing a blazer or a collar or clothes that talk about you. It should vary according to the people you're meeting, according to the situations, and the way you have to portray yourself. When we say grooming, you have to be well groomed, your hair, your nails, everything has to be in perfect tandem. Body language talks about the way you behave, the way you sit, the way you shake hands. All of this is covered in body language. And etiquette is the way you portray yourself, the way you have your mannerism, and that talks a lot about you. Next. Good clothing is not about just looking pretty, glamorous, or handsome. In order to move towards your goal, you must project an image that is appropriate, authentic, attractive, and affordable. Now, when we say appropriate, what does it mean? It says that we should be dressed according to the situation, what the situation is demanding. When I say authentic, it should be true to your personal self. It should be true to the kind of self image you have of yourself. We should not just follow trends or what the other person is doing. We should do what we feel is right, what is authentic to ourselves. It should also be attractive, but at the same time, we have to make sure where to draw the line. And at the same time, it should be pocket friendly. Hence, when all these 4 A's, these are called as the 4 A's of power dressing: appropriate, authentic, attractive, and affordable. When all 4 A's are met, is when you create a powerful image for yourself. Dressing, when I say attractive appearance, you should always dress keeping your body shape in mind. When I say body shape, we all have a certain kind of body shape: triangular, rectangular. Some people have a very slim, slender kind of body shape. Yes, whatever suits your body shape, please wear that. It will make you look more attractive and at the same time very classic. Dressing as per your personal colors. When I say personal colors, everyone has a skin texture, everyone has a specific color of their eyes, lips, hair. So whatever suits at most best to your skin, to your personal colors, go with those colors and make sure you dress as per your color scheme. Accessorizing and wearing makeup as per face shape. Girls have to make sure that their accessories are at minimal and the makeup is extremely corporate and classic. Making sure that grooming and personal hygiene are up to the mark. We have to make sure that we are groomed at all times and our hygiene is at bay. Now let's get into the psychology of power dressing. What is it? What is this whole, thing called as power dressing? Why are we calling it power dressing? Because dressing is not only limited to wearing clothes. It's creating a certain kind of image in the other person's mind. So when I say that I have to create the right image in the other person's mind, I have to make sure that certain things are done in a proper way. Yes, the first thing is the fit. When I say the fit, You have to look appropriate. You have to be dressed crisp. You have to make sure that you have the minimum you should do, you should have a collar. The collar states, it makes you more credible, it makes you more formal. It should be structured. When I say structured, you have to make sure that your clothes are, it should be extremely fitted, and you should wear your clothes according to your body shape. When you wear structured clothes, when you wear clothes as per your fit, it makes you look more crisp. When you wear very loose, oversized clothes, it makes you look extremely shabby. Yes or no? So you have to make sure that the fit is kept completely in mind before making sure that you know the kind of image you want to create for the other person. Next is appropriateness. When I say appropriate, for example, you are meeting a person, a casual meetup with a client, and you have to dress a certain manner. What is it that you would make sure the bare minimum you have when you're meeting your client? Formal dress, semi-formal outfit, lovely. A blazer would be great. Formal dress, collared shirt, formal shirt, pant, yes, business formal. Okay, an accessory, watch, white shirt. Okay, so we can make out that everybody has a kind of, yes, glasses. Okay, they'll make you look more professional, they'll make you look more polished. Okay, Harsh, you say one piece. So may I know what do you mean when you say one piece? Can you unmute your mic, please? Harsh P. Do you mean match blazer? A match suit? Crisp shirt, dark tie gives a clean look, lovely. Yes. So when we have to meet a client, we have to make sure that we are dressed in our utmost best. We have a collar. If not a blazer, bare minimum would be a formal shirt with a collar, pants, formal shoes. You should have an accessory, that's a watch. So that says that you're appropriately dressed for the occasion when you're meeting the client. When I say polished, it means that when you talk about your shoes, they should be neatly cleaned. Polished means you should have a well-groomed beard. For men, you should make sure that your hair is well-groomed. Your beard is groomed. Your nails are cut. Yes, for females, you should have neatly tied hair. It could be a pony or open hair, but they should be neat and clean. Now, this is a sample cluster. When I say cluster, it's a women cluster that I have created for you all. A cluster is a group of clothing that you can use for a week or for 3-4 days. You can create such clusters in your wardrobe that can help you pick up outfits for your corporate dressing easily. Now, you can see a picture in front of you. You can see a pink top and a pant, a cardigan, a white shirt and pant, a blazer. Now you can make at least 6 to 7 outfits out of it. We can pair the pink top, pants and blazer. We can pair the white shirt and pants. We can pair the white shirt, pant and blazer. You could, on days where you don't want to carry a blazer, you could just wear a cardigan with a white shirt inside. So depending on the appropriateness of the occasion, we can keep creating outfits out of this. Yes, you can have your handbag. The handbag has to be any darker color appropriate for formal setup. A belt, a watch, pair of shoes. If you're not comfortable with heels, we have flats as well. Yes, next. Now by just adding 3 more outfits to this, three more pieces to this, the 6th piece, the 7th piece, and the 8th piece, you can make sure you create not less than 16 outfits out of this. Can you see the mix and match you can create when you just add 3 more pieces? When you're not comfortable with pants, you can pair them up with gray skirt as well. For girls, you can add accessories. Just make sure they are minimal. The pearl necklace will make it more attractive, will keep your face as the focal point. Can you see how we've expanded the cluster using just 3 more pieces? Yes, there's a question. How would you know what colors combine or look better with each other? This will come with practice, you have to make sure you check what looks attractive for you, and everybody has a personal color. So when I say personal color, there are color tests which you can get done, or at the same time, you could just keep the piece of clothing in front of your face and make sure how attractive it makes your face look. So that is your personal color. If I'm wearing a blue today, I know this shade of blue makes me feel more fresh. It makes my face feel more enhanced. So there are color analysis tests which we can do for persons individually and make sure you get to know your personal color. Till you get that done, you can keep it very close to your face while you shop and see how well it goes with your face and your skin color. That will tell you which are your personal colors. And when you talk about the combinations of the shirt and the pant, you make sure that they are contrasting. More the contrast, the better they will look. With the blazer and the shirt also, there should be a contrast. We'll talk about it further in the slide. I hope I answered your question. Yes, a tie would also enhance it. Tie would be very, very good. We'll talk about it when we move further in the session. Any universal rule for this? No, there's no one rule for it. It keeps changing from person to person and from everybody's personal color. So there are a few strategies that we'll keep in mind while dressing. We'll make sure that our clothes communicate what we want them to. Next, let's see how we can do that. Now, when I say communication with clothes, what is it that your clothes communicate? Sometimes they say that you're less formal. It communicates to you and it communicates to the wearer as well. I said before, creating an outer image, there is a self-image that you should create for yourself. There are days when we feel very drab. The moment we dress ourselves well, we feel more confident, we feel more credible, capable, approachable, precise, casual, relaxed. So depending on where you want to look, how you'll dress yourself. If you have to go to your child's PTM, you have to make sure that you dress slightly more relaxed, but at the same time, you should be more approachable. If you're going for a meeting with a colleague, you can be slightly more relaxed. Yes, you can be in business formals. You do not need to be very, very extremely formally dressed. So depending on what situation, what kind of message you want to convey, you can dress up or dress down. Now, this is a small activity that we will do. It's called as the clothing message activity. I have few situations with me. I will narrate the situation for you and you have to tell me what is the kind of message you want your clothes to convey. Okay? So now the situation is a normal day at work, leader of a team, some team interactions. The leader of the team will be present. There'll be some team interactions and it's a specific client interaction. Okay. How will you want, what kind of message would you want to get conveyed? There is a list given above. You can use the list and give the answer. Would you want to look easygoing, strict, formal? Okay. Would you want to look authoritative as well? Less formal, great. Accessible, because yeah, it's a normal day at work. But because client is there, you have to make sure you're formal. Yes, approachable as well. Akansha, can we go next? Yeah. Meeting with the client for final closing of a sales deal. Boss and other team members are also present in the final meeting. What is the kind of message you would want to convey now? More formal, yes. Official, formal, consistent, yeah. Because you have to make sure that yes, persuasive, strict, formal. Now there is a situation where you're accompanying a foreign delegate to business lunch. Now, because it's a business lunch, you are in an outdoor setup or in your restaurant, but you've gone out for lunch and there's a foreign delegate. What is the kind of message you would want to convey? How would you want your dressing to be? What message would you want your dressing to convey? Yeah. Now, since it's a lunch, you can be slightly more relaxed, but at the same time, formal because there's a foreign delegate that has come. So you have to keep the formality in mind. Next. Boss throws a party for the team and their families to celebrate completion of a target at a club, cocktails and barbecue. Yes, what is the kind of message you would want to convey here? Now, this is a more relaxed setup. The boss has thrown a party, so it's more close-knit. There are no clients involved here. It's within your team. and families are also there. So you can be, yes, more easygoing, you can be flexible. Yes, yes, amazing, lovely. Now you are slowly get into the groove of understanding how visual communication is very, very important. Yes, you can wear denims as well. Just make sure that your shirt or your t-shirt that you're wearing is slightly formal, precise. Lovely. Next. Can we have the next situation? Attending the quarterly PTA meeting along with your child, bumping into other parents while you wait. So this is a typical PTA situation that you have. What is it that you would want to convey here? Relaxed. Attending a meet at an NGO you are associated with. Now, this is a NGO meeting that you have. It's a completely personal kind of thing. But at the same time, because it's at an NGO, there is a certain message that you want to give. Yes. What is it that you would want to give here? Accessible. Yes, you would want to be accessible. You would want to be more receptive here. You would want to be more consistent. Yes, cooperative. Lovely. Lovely. Next. Can we have the next situation? A picnic with friends and family. Here we can be extremely casual and relaxed. Now, this tells us, now, was it a fun activity? Did it make you understand what visual communication is about? Yes, can I have someone unmute the mic and tell me, is it clear? Are we good till here? Would you want me to re-emphasize on something? We want our clothes to communicate the appropriate message. We want the clothes to talk about our role, goal, and occasion. What is the role that we have? What is the goal that we want to achieve? And what is the occasion that we are going to? But at the same time, you also have to determine the level of your dressing. The dressing has to be as per the occasion. The cues that are, they are collar, the jacket, a match suit. Now there's a style scale that comes into picture here. The style scale tells you how and which level you are in your dressing. The next slide will talk about it. Yes, this is the professional and personal style scale that I wanted to tell you all today. This is an extremely handy. You can take a screenshot of this and make sure you keep this always with you. It's a style scale which tells you there are 4 levels in dressing. Level 1 is the untailored, where you can be casual, you can be unmatched, unstructured, in a setup where you need not wear any collar, any personal meeting that you want to go, any outing which doesn't involve anything professional. Extremely casual is with no collar. Now, when you want to step up the style scale, you have to make sure that when you go to level 2, as in you want to be predominantly more formal, you have to make sure that you mix and match combinations, your design elements, and the easiest thing to understand is you have to make sure you have a collar. So level 2, you are only dressed in level 2 when you have a collar. It could be a stand collar, a normal shirt collar. In Indian dresses, it could be the stand collar kurta that we have for females. Yes, it could be any kind of collar. Once you have your collar, you've stepped up to level 2. Third level is the softly tailored level. Now, this level is when you have a jacket. Now, this jacket could be a cardigan. The second layer, basically any second layer you carry on becomes your level 3, your softly tailored level. This level tells that you are climbing more in your professional style scale and you are looking extremely more formal, and any kind of second layer makes you more credible, it makes you more crisp, and make sure that you are at level 3 of the style scale. At level 4 is when you want to attend a client meeting or a conference where you want to be extremely formal. A jacket, long sleeves, collar, tie, bow, all of this comes in level 4 with a blazer and a match suit. A mixed matched, a different color blazer, pants will come in level 3 because it's just a jacket. But when we say match suit, black pant, white shirt, and a blazer, or black pant, any kind of shirt inside, but the same color and blazer, and the fabric is also same, that makes it a tailored match suit. That says that you are at the level 4 of dressing. Yes, are we clear? Level 1 is when you have no collar, your round collar t-shirts, your uh, with females, your kurtas with round necks, all of that, anything that doesn't have a collar is level 1. Level 2 is when you are casually tailored with a collar. Level 3 is when you wear a jacket, a cardigan, any kind of outer layer. And level 4 is when you add the mat suit. Yes, Bala, you have a question. Bala Shri Nivasan.
Hi,
Oh,
Rihanna. Vic here.
hi.
Thank you so much for this effort to help us. Um, I have a question.
Yes.
Are brands really important in the sense, does everything, do we need to kind of be the evangelist for brands and everything that we wear? Or is it only when there are specific occasions where you think a brand needs to be displayed?
Thank you for that question, and I am very happy that you are checking in with your droughts. Brand is not something that matters. What matters is how crisp your clothing is. What matters is we stick to the style scale that we're talking about. What matters is the color is as per your the color and the fit is as per your body shape. Be it any brand, it has to be affordable. It has to be according to your whatever spend you want to make. But you just have to make sure that it's crisp, it's well fitted. The colors are as per your personal colors, whatever you think is effective for you at that moment. And there's nothing that a brand will create an impression on you. Yes, you have to make sure that it's well fitted. So you have to pick it up from a store or a place that gives you a well fit. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure, Rihanna. The only reason why I'm asking is because I've seen executives who wear brands, right? But when it comes to executive presence, right, the brands don't help. So I was like wondering, why is it that we still go after certain brands?
Yeah.
Uh,
So the only thing is, when we go with a particular brand, for example, a Van Heusen or an Allen Solly, because they've been in the market since so many years and they've done that business, they know how well fitted it should be, how structured it should be. Or probably I know this brand's fit suits me the best. I can just close my eyes and make sure that I enter that store and I know it fits me the best. So that's how it should be as per your comfort, and you should look crisp and clean, is all it means. Executive presence will talk more. We can get into more about it later, but you have to make sure that the fit is more appropriate. It's structured well, the colors are perfect, and I'm sure you're good to go. Now, the second strategy that I want to talk about today is the accessories. When we say accessories, next, the guys can wear a lapel pin. Yes, they are not just randomly chosen. The basic accessory that you can have is a belt. Yes, a well-fitted belt. The brooch has to be at the center. The belt has to be fitted well. The color has to match your pants. You can have a black belt, a brown belt in your wardrobe so that depending on your trousers, you can wear them. You have to choose carefully your accessories. Yes, so that it goes with your overall look and it doesn't look off. It has to be appropriate and it should not confuse the viewer. When I say confuse the viewer, it should not create multiple focal points. Learn the simple rules of combining and coordinating accessories. Next, I'll answer your questions. Let me just finish this section and then we can take up the questions.
In the end,
Next.
we do have Q&A, ma'am. So at the end, we can take Q&A from all the people who have their questions.
Perfect. Perfect. So we can park the questions for later. I'll just finish so that we can make the most of this 1 hour. These are some belts that girls can use. Next, you could wear a white belt, a brown belt. Depending on your outfit, you can change. For men, you all can stick to black and brown. You could have a blue belt if you're wearing a blue pants, but a black and brown should be good to go. The belt and the shoes have to match. Yes, you cannot have black belt with a blue shoe or a blue shoe with a black belt. If you're wearing a brown belt, it has to be with a brown shoe. Yes. This is extremely important. Socks are something that it makes it makes you look very distractive if you are wearing socks which are not matching with your trouser. You have to match your socks with the color of your trouser and not with the tie and your shirt. No socks, only for loafers with casual wear. If you are wearing loafers, you could wear the loafer socks. But if you're wearing formal shoes, so extremely formal are the knotted shoes that you can see over here. Lesser formals are the black ones on the left. The loafers are only for a very casual setup. For formal setup, you have to wear a laced shoe and your sock and the shoe has to match. Next. Watch size has to be proportionate to your wrist. It should not be very big. It should not be very chunky. And metal belts are always considered more formal than leather belts. Black, gray, brown, navy blue are the straps that you can use, and you have to coordinate with your belt and shoes. The strap of your watch as well. If you're wearing leather watches, if you're wearing metal, it could be silver or gold, anything, but it should not be flashy. Yes, the watch size has to be proportionate to your wrist. If you have a smaller wrist, a smaller dial would do. You could have a mid dial so that it goes with all your outfits. Next. Yes, you have to keep accessories very, very minimal for girls. Next. You have to invest in an handbag. This is for girls and for men as well. You could have a nice laptop bag. You have to make sure that it's structured. It has a neutral color, black, tan or navy. It should be versatile. It should look professional. It should coordinate with your entire look. When I say coordinate, try and make sure that the colors are in amalgamation. There aren't a lot of colors. So if you have a blue trouser, a blue, like probably a light blue shirt with a navy blue trouser, you could have a black bag. That works fine. It's a contrast, but you cannot have a tan brown or a extremely different red colored bag. That would not look formal. Akansha, can we go next? Yeah. Let's move on to the third strategy. We've spoken about it. We have to create contrast to draw attention. Let's see more about it. Attention is drawn to the contrast and more to lighter colors in the contrast. So when we say this, we make sure that we wear the lighter color close to the face so that a contrast is created. Today, I am wearing a black with a lighter blue shade of a blazer. Yes, this lighter blue shade makes sure that my face looks more attractive and appropriate. A contrast is created. Make sure you wear the darker color at the bottom. We generally have slightly, we tend to wear the darker colors at the bottom and the lighter colors closer to the face so that the focal point is always our face. The jewelry also, or the scarf, if girls are wearing, a tie, if boys are wearing, they all have to be contrasting. The tie will always contrast with the shirt color. Only then you are creating focal point and you're making sure that the entire focus is on your face. Yes. You can see in the picture the kind of contrast here. Can you see the beige blazer with the blue pants and white inside? It looks best. It always looks good when you have the suit, shirt and tie in a contrasting manner. It should be created with solid colors, textures and patterns in the tie. Contrast should be created with the shirt first, as you may take your jacket off. So there are times when you would want to remove your jacket. So the basic you can do is have contrasting pants and shirt. Make sure that the pants are the darker color and the lighter color is always worn at the top. Next. Here are a few pictures which tells you business casual is when you don't have the outer layer. So the casual would always be level 1. You have to increase the level. You have the white shirt and then you have to increase it even more. You have the blazer. So these are few pictures which talks about what we've said till now. Next. So these are few combinations for girls. There are few pictures for men as well. Next. Yeah. So this talks about how you can move from casual, smart casual, business to formal. Can you see the smart is denim with the outer layer? The shirt, smart casual is denim with the blazer. Business casual is the collar is added here. So you can wear this to office on a relaxed Friday. You seeing the belt and the shoe is matching the colors. Next is you want to make it more business formal. You're adding the tie. Tie is contrasting to the shirt. Yes, the tie is always generally a darker shade. If you're wearing the darker shade of the shirt, then the tie has to be lighter. So basically a contrast needs to be created close to the face. And now when you want to make it extremely business formal, you wear a match suit with the fabric, color, and the match suit with the tux inside. Contrast with tie and shirt. These are few pictures. Next. Can you see the patterns of the shirt for girls? You all can wear scarves like this. You all can wear shirts with bows around the collar. The black and this. Next. Can you see how the focal point is created towards the face? All the patterns are towards the face so that the attraction is towards the face always. Color contrast, patterns, decorative lines. Next. So this is what like a guide for you so that you know what are the best styles you can wear for your meetings, presentations, office parties. It's a complete guide. You could take a screenshot of this so that you know how to increase the style scale according to the situation and look authentic and appropriate. Let's go to the next strategy, the last strategy for today, that is strategy 4. Now, when you have to make sure, yeah, so I see a hand raised over here. If it's a question, can we park it for just 10 minutes so that I complete this and I can take all your questions? So anything in our clothing should not be distractive. When I say distractive, it should not have skin show. It should not have tight fitted clothes. Can you see here how ill fitted clothes make you look? They are not as per your body shape. Tightly hugged clothes, they don't make you look professional at all. Can you see in this picture? So you have to avoid fitted clothes. We keep changing our weight once in a while, it does happen. So you have to make sure that you keep editing your wardrobe as per your body shape. Tight clothes, clothes with a lot of skin show will be very, very distracting. Next. Skin show draws attention, but not in the right way. It does not make you look formal and not at all appropriate. So there is a collar in the shirt that you see the male wearing here, but it's extremely not formal and it's distractive. Next. Can you see accessories? When I say accessories, it has to be a minimal necklace or chain. Or for females, for men, it could be a lapel pin, it could be a tie or a belt, but over accessorizing will just not make it right. Now, there are people who have very fully filled wallets and the wallets are in the front pocket. They are extremely distractive. Backpacks are not for office. You should have a handbag. If it's a laptop bag, is fine, but this kind of backpacks are not what looks professional. Stuffed wallets, crumpled business cards, they do not give a professional. So you have to avoid all of that. Now, can you see in this picture, whenever the speaker is speaking, your attention will always go to the handkerchief that is popping out of her pocket. So the handkerchiefs, your threads, your phones have always to be kept aside. If you want your handkerchief to be placed, it has to be placed in your back pocket and even when you use it after that, you have to fold it well and put it in your back pocket. It should not be stuffed in your front pocket. And threads, and can you see the threads hanging from her scarf? Your attention will always keep going to those threads. So you have to make sure that you avoid such things in office setup. Distraction by contrasting socks. Can you see the checkered color socks over here? Now, this is like an essential corporate wardrobe for men. You could have well-fitted suit in any neutral color. It could be blue, black, or navy. Button-down shirts. Your dress and shoes should match. Your chinos or the formal shoes that you're wearing. Your pants, a collared shirt, a cardigan, or a sweater, so that on days you don't want to wear a blazer, you could have a cardigan. And the accessories should be your tie, watch, and a bag. No flashy jewelry or anything that's casual like a backpack. So this is like a complete guide for you for corporate wardrobe for men. We have a similar guide for women as well. Yes, you could have you could just add pencil skirts to this. You could have blouses instead of shirts, tops, elegant tops, closed shoes for females. Only closed shoes are something that are considered as formals. Even if it's flat or heels, they should be closed. If you're extremely uncomfortable with closed shoes, you could have the peep toes, which have just a small round ahead so that your fingers are comfortable, but ideally it should be closed shoes. For females, you have to make sure that you have extremely professional makeup. It should not be very flashy. You could add scarves, you can play a lot with your accessories compared to men, but you have to make sure that you are dressing extremely formal and not overpowering. Yeah. Now we come to the last leg of the session today. We'll be talking about grooming. Now, what's the difference between dressing and grooming? Yes, I would love to have some inputs from you all. When I say dressing and when I say grooming, how are they different? Okay, I will answer. Has anybody, I will talk about it. Certainly, we are here for that. I would want to hear what is your input on it. What do you think is the difference between dressing and grooming? Very good. So dressing is something, your clothes that you wear every day, and grooming is when you have to take effort for it. You have to make sure that you're always well groomed. When I say you're well groomed, means you're always well put up. You should have a proper haircut. Your nails should be groomed. You should be clean. You have to make sure that, yes, the teeth, the skin, everything. Yes, very good, very good. So the difference between dressing and grooming is something that you have to do on an everyday basis. You could wear the same clothes for years to go, but you have to keep yourself well groomed. Your clothes should be ironed. They should not be stained. They should not be torn. Even if there is a small tear anywhere, make sure you repair it or change it. Don't wear it to office or in a professional setup. You have to, for men, you have to make sure if you have a beard, it should be well trimmed or clean shaved is preferred. For men also, you have to make sure, for men and women both, you should always smell good. So make sure you have a mild deodorant or a perfume with you. Before giving your hands for a handshake, make sure you don't have sweaty palms. Yes, all these things need to be kept in check. Grooming is about personal hygiene. Very true. When I say hygiene, when I say grooming, you have to make sure that you do it at a regular basis. You have to make sure that you are well groomed at all times. Even when you are leaving for office, you have to make sure that you have your nails cleaned, for you should be groomed. You should make sure that you are smelling good, you are looking professional, your clothes are clean, they are ironed, you are extremely clean. There are people who have even oral odor issues. You have to make sure for that you clean your teeth, you have your regular dental checkups with your dentist. So all these things have to be kept in check. For females, if you have long hair, either should be they should be tied in a nice bun or a closed half updo like this, or anything that you feel is comfortable, but you have to be make sure you look well put up. These are few hairstyles that you could keep if you want to keep your hair open, but at the same time you want to look well, neat, put up. For girls, you could have a bun, a clip, or a closed pony as well. Next, some of the hairstyles for long hair. Next, this gets us to the end of today's webinar. Now I hope I have helped you all understand how to step up and step down the professional style scale, how you have to make sure that you are dressed appropriate at all times. You have to make sure that you are dressed professional. Yes. Yeah, now I can answer all your questions. What strategies can help an individual who is uncomfortable with formal attire remain motivated and productive during long working hours in a professional setting? Yes, there are times when you have long working hours, so you have to make sure that your dressing is relaxed. As in, you could wear a collared t-shirt with pants is okay. Relaxed pants are also fine if there is a long meeting. Do these matter, especially nowadays when we see CEOs in round necks? Okay, so yeah, there is this startup culture that's coming, or there is a kind of relaxed culture that is coming. So like I said, it varies from situation to situation and the cultural setup that you have at your workplace. There is a workplace that is followed at multiple corporates. So if the workplace is extremely casual, you can follow that, but I would still recommend at least wearing a collar. That make you look more credible. Yes, tattoos are extremely distractive. So if you have a tattoo, make sure it's always covered. If you already have it, we can't do anything about it. But yes, they are distractive and slightly makes you look unprofessional if it's seen. If it's closed and covered or somewhere lower that cannot be seen always, is fine. Please share your thoughts on. So I'm extremely sorry. There were a lot of things that I could have covered, but the webinar that we had today was for 1 hour. So that's the most I could share in this 1 hour. We'll talk about the color scheme or in depth about it if we ever get a chance again to speak about power dressing in detail. How can influential dressing and grooming influence? Like I said, it does create a beautiful impression about you, a good impression, but at the same time, it's a long lasting impression. For you to make sure that your long lasting impression is good, you have to be consistent in your wearing and very, very professional. For Indian attire, women, you could wear belly shoes, you could wear sandals, anything that's closed is perfect. And if you're wearing an Indian dress, you could wear the jutis that we get, they are closed as well. Round neck t-shirts is good to wear in office. Like I said, it's the culture of the office. I would suggest a collar. Daily habits that you can keep in mind is for girls, the cleansing, toning, moisturizing. You have to make sure that your face is clean. The CTM is done. For men, your beard is groomed, your haircut is done, and your basic personal hygiene is maintained. You should smell well. All that we discussed about hygiene today. For obese Indian men, yes, there is a certain kind of dressing that we follow for body shapes that are slightly overweight. You have to make sure whatever suits the best to you, you please stick to that. Any good suggestions for Indian office wear? Yes, you could wear a stand collar kurta or a kurta with a collar, and you have to make sure that you have pants instead of leggings. So pants make you look more structured, the pencil pants instead of going with leggings. Yeah, so when it comes to body language, if you have a very droopy body, if your handshake is not well, all that gives the wrong impression. So you have to make sure that whenever you're sitting in a meeting or you are in a professional setup, your body language, your body posture, your handshake, all of that is kept into check. It instantly gives a very professional image to the other person. It communicates your professionality. It communicates that you're credible and you're confident. And always while shaking your hands, you have to have a smile and have an eye contact. Clean shave is extremely allowed. It's the best thing to be. I never said clean shave is not allowed. If you have a beard, it should be grown.
So, hi, Lavi this side.
Yeah,
So,
Lavneet.
I wanted to ask one thing, like, is there any page or like on social media that we can follow that is from you, where you post like about dressing sense and everything?
So, yes, I do have a professional page, but I am through Trijog. So you have a lot of material that is available online. I'm not sure if we could share that with you. If that's something that I can share, I will send across few pictures for you that can help you. Belt is mandatory for formals if dress fits perfectly. You could skip the belt if you want to, but it will make you look formal. So with a tucked in shirt, you should have a belt. If it's not tucked in, you can skip it if you want to be more relaxed. For a general book club meet at a cafe, you can be in your relaxed wear. You can be round neck t-shirts and your denims or cargos. So if it's a relaxed book club meet if it's not in the office setup, you can go relaxed. So for people who wish to drop out, they can. I will be here for more 5 to 10 minutes if someone has any more questions. For people who have work commitments, you can please drop out. Thank you so much. Please provide your feedback before leaving the webinar. So yeah, chat GPT is something that is trying to help everybody. If you think that should, but I personally feel you should get in touch with an image consultant because they are professional and they can help you know your perfect face shape, body shape, so you can wear your clothes accordingly. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and for, making sure that you understand what power dressing is all about. I am glad I got this opportunity. Thank you so much, Ankit, for being here. And I hope I've helped everybody make this professional journey more easier when it comes to power dressing, and make sure you have a long lasting impression, the right impression, and your dressing is always very appropriate, authentic, affordable, and at the same time true to yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.